way.
Even just when I'm raising my children, I think about how I grew up.
Yeah.
And I want that. I want a peaceful home. I want stability. I want peace. And I want love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw you post sometime on your status, something that really stood out to me. You said you were taking out your girls one at a time to get to know them. Can you tell us a little bit about this and where did you get this from?
One weekend, I went for one of my friends' baby shower. So we were having this usual girl talk banter. And then she said, you know what? I have 4 children and they're all different. And I didn't realize how different they were. I think she had sort of like an altercation or like a mini fight with one of the middle children. And then she realized she didn't know her children. And somehow she said, you have all these 4 children, so you raise them all the same way.
Yeah.
And yet they're different.
Yeah.
Then she said, so I made it a deliberate effort to take my sons. She has 3 boys and 1 girl. Whenever I get time, so that I get to know them. I was bothered because when I listened, I said, "Oh, Diana, that's very wise." But then after that, I kept thinking about my daughters. I have 3 daughters, very different. My firstborn is completely different from my secondborn. My 3rd daughter she's a toddler, so she isn't yet into
Her character,
as it should be. So it's these 2. And I started to reflect. I said, oh my God, I'm always, especially with my secondborn, I'm always shouting, Ivy, why can't you be like Ella? Ella is like this.
Yeah.
Ella is sweet. Yeah. Ella is kind. Ella doesn't give me a headache. She does her homework. And then when I thought about it, I realized that Ivy had started to draw out of her character. And it really irritated her when I always told her, why can't you be like Ivy? And honestly, Ivy in so many ways is like me.
Oh, that's why you clash with her so much.
Yes. She's very strong-headed, very opinionated. She will speak it as it is. And
See where my descriptions are coming in?
And she carries so much strength, ironically.
She does. That's the Estella I know.
Right? And she's the kind of girl who Elana will say, can you imagine this child said this about me? And she will be like, they said what?
I'm coming.
And yet she's younger. And she goes to fight her sister's battles.
Yeah.
But behind that strength, a child also who's wanting to be seen, hurting sometimes the things that you say to your children and you don't realize.
Yeah.
And the one thing I'm learning to parent now is to say sorry. I say sorry to my children.
Yes.
If they'll come to me and say, Mommy, you hurt my feelings. What you said wasn't nice. So, because Ivy has told me this, I feel like sometimes you don't see me. Elana is always this.
Wait, how old is Ivy now? Because Elana is 12.
Yes, Ivy is 10 and a half.
She's wow. That's a strong word.
Yeah, very strong word.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't see me. You have so many things in common with Elana. Both of you, she made me laugh. Both of you are neat freaks. You like to clean and organize. I'm not organized. Anyway, so I thought about it and I was like, I want the most out of my children. And Elana will never be Ivy. Ivy will never be Elana. But seeing them grow, both their strength and weaknesses balance each other out.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I need to know my children.
Mm.
So every weekend, when I get time, I've slacked on that now because of time and work and everything. I'll spend this Saturday with Ivy, maybe next Saturday with Elana.
Did they find that
Oh my God.
hard, or did they easily adjust to it? Because normally you used to take them together.
Yeah, they loved it.
Oh, that's interesting.
They really, really loved it. In fact, so much that these days they tell me, when are we resuming our individual dates, mommy? Ivy would be like, it feels so nice to be with you alone and not having to compete with attention with Elana or Ivy. Yeah. And then Elana will be like, I'm having such a nice time, Mama. And then I'll be like, okay. And then I would sit down and listen to everything, the banter, the boys, the school, the struggles. And I said, God, I want this. And now you've asked me this question. I want to go back and be more deliberate.
It stood out to me when you posted that. I was like, that's actually quite interesting. I did some digging and research about it, and I've apparently realized that this is something millennial parents are doing. It's not very common with our parents, because back in the day, I think our parents didn't have time, but also I never ever felt like my mom gave me time on my own. Like, it was always my sister and I. And sometimes you grow up and you feel misunderstood. So you find your character growing into other people. Like, they're always like, why are you always like this? Why are you always like this? They don't take time to find out why actually. But also maybe it could be, like you said, like she's acting out on how she feels you're treating her. She's not seen. Maybe she wants to be like her big sister because she feels like you prefer her big sister. So I think that's something that made me realize millennial parents are really trying to, like you said, you say sorry. I don't think, maybe now that we are older, my mom never said sorry to me.
I know, because I realized sorry shouldn't be a difficult thing to do when you hurt somebody or you've made a mistake, because we are all prone to make mistakes.
Yeah, you can't be perfect.
So for me, the lesson there is for them to learn to own their mistakes. And say sorry. Put other people first. If you hurt somebody's feelings, apologize for what you've done. And if I can do it, sometimes I really don't want to, because I be like, I'm the mom here, and what you did was wrong. But then after some time, I will see they're upset, and then I will be
You've
like,
hurt their little feelings. So
I'm like, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. That wasn't the intention, but also the way you reacted or what you've done wasn't true.
And I think they easily see where their mistake was when you also kind of take the blame for some of the things.
Exactly.
I like that. I appreciate that. I learned that from you.